Coming up on Michigan Replay, Capital One Bowl preview. Lloyd Carr talks about his final game as the Wolverines head coach. We get the word on how to put the brakes on a Heisman Trophy winner. We'll also hear from a healthy Michigan offense on how to attack a swarm of Gators. And we'll have a Michigan Replay musical tribute to a friend and coach. All that and more coming up next. Michigan Replay with Lloyd Carr is brought to you in part by AbsoPure Water, delivering quality bottled water since 1908. By Sirius Satellite Radio. By the University of Michigan Alumni Association, uniting the leaders in best. www.umalumni.com. By State Farm, providing insurance and financial services. By AT&T, for a behind-the-scenes look at sports, visit attblueroom.com/sports. And by Pontiac. Vote now for this season's best Pontiac game-changing performance of the year online at pontiac.com/NCAA.
Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to Michigan Replay. Happy New Year. Merry Christmas. We're in lovely Orlando for the Capital One Bowl, Michigan versus Florida, and with old, retired Lloyd Carr.
Not retired yet, Jim.
Well, now I
Lest
heard
you forget, we have a game.
I heard you announce your retirement.
Effective January 1.
January 2.
2.
You got to play a game January 1.
Yeah, well, as soon as that game's over.
It has been an eventful couple of weeks.
It has. A lot of exciting things happening at Michigan, but right now we're down here in the sunshine enjoying the weather and preparation for a game.
And a big game, too.
Yeah, absolutely.
Florida is an excellent football team, and that's, I know, your priority right now. But let's be honest, it's had to have been a little difficult in your preparation because you're outgoing. Rich Rodriguez was named the new coach. How has it been a little different?
Well, it's been different from the standpoint that, Jim, a lot of our coaches are out there looking and interviewing for jobs. And the uncertainty of that is always something that is difficult because you're talking about taking children out of school and moving and going to the change. And so we've tried to handle that. Our players, certainly some of them have had an opportunity to talk with Coach Rodriguez about where they fit as far as their particular situation. So there have been some issues that we normally don't have to deal with, but we're here, we're doing fine. And
preparation-wise, you're getting ready for Florida. Has it been going okay from that standpoint?
Well, I think our practices here have gone very well. The players, we've always got a few guys that eat a little bit too much over Christmas break.
No.
Yeah, you know.
But I can't imagine.
But, you know, I think we've had good concentration here.
That's good. This is your 13th and final bowl special for Michigan Replay.
I'll be doggone.
Isn't that amazing? 13 straight bowl games. Yeah. And you know what I like best?
What?
You don't have to wear a cowboy hat this year.
Yeah, we've had some beauties. We've rode horses.
Yep.
We've rode cowboy hats.
And the best part about now wearing a cowboy hat, you really don't look like Jimmy Stewart in The Man Who Shot Liberty Valance, but you still sound like him.
I do?
You do.
I've been told that. I was told that when I was teaching high school.
Is that right?
Yeah, back at Belleville and Westland, John Glenn.
Well, you've been incredible for 13 years, and we've got still more show to go. So don't go away. When we come back, we will talk to Michigan and how they're going to deal with Florida quarterback Tim Tebow. But first, we hear from Florida and how they're looking forward to the Wolverines.
They're a very talented defense. You know, I mean, don't be fooled by any of the stuff that maybe happened to them early in the season for those teams. You know, they'll be one of the best defenses we play this year.
I think it's a great matchup. When I heard, I was very excited about playing against Michigan. I think, you know, that's a team when you know, you're young, you dream about playing against, you know, Michigan and USC, teams like that, you know, and so, you know, that's going to be a great matchup. I think it'll be, you know, fun, and, you know, I'll be looking forward to, you know, play them. They'll be healthy, and so when they're healthy, they'll be one of the best teams in the country with Mike Hart, Manningham, and Chad Henne, all those guys, so they'll be ready to go.
When Michigan takes the field against Florida on New Year's Day, there is one name and number that will get their utmost attention. It's number 15. Tim Tebow is the Gator monster Michigan must deal with. As a quarterback, he's their leading rusher. He's had the most carries. He scored 22 times rushing. Tebow is also their leading passer with a 68.5 completion rate, a 177.85 quarterback rating. He's thrown for over 3,100 yards, 29 touchdowns, and just 6 interceptions. Oh, and by the way, if you hadn't heard, he's won the Heisman Trophy, and he's only a sophomore. So how do you stop the guy? That's the problem the Michigan defense faces.
I think I'm going to name my kids after Tebow. I keep hearing about it. No, he's a good guy. I know he's working hard for his team, but, you know, I had to stop him. I'm a defensive player, so, you know, my biggest thing is I have to cover the run, and then I have to cover Tebow by himself, so he's a big threat for the defense. But, you know, we have played spread teams. We have got better through the years, and, you know, adjustments that we're making right now, we're going to have fun with it. And he's going to make plays, and we just readjust again. We're going to have fun with it.
He sparks a lot of energy for their team. So when he has a big run, makes a big play, they get excited and they really feed off of him. So I think if we go in there and really stop him, then we'll have a great chance to stop the whole offense. Tebow is a mobile quarterback, but he's not as mobile, I'd say, as other quarterbacks we faced. You know what I mean? So he'll run on you, but he's not going to outrun you this way, outrun you that way. But he's not afraid to hit around the middle, so it's a little bit different.
While Tebow is a huge threat, the Wolverines also must account for the likes of Percy Harvin, a lightning-quick receiver that Florida gets the ball too often as both a runner and receiver. Wideout Andre Caldwell is no slouch either, going for over 700 yards receiving and 5 scores. And running back Keston Moore averages nearly 6 yards a carry. It will be Michigan's toughest offensive test they've faced all year.
We're going to have our hands full because the talent they have doing the scheme that they do, and they're very well prepared at the scheme they do because they don't do a whole bunch. They mask it extremely well, but they do what they do, and they do it a lot, and they do it well.
Everybody's got to swarm the ball, and they break tackles. They're a good team offensively, and they're going to break some tackles, make some plays, but we just got to keep fighting and get them down on the ground. It's going to be a hard-fought match, but Tim Tebow's not the only guy in that offense. But he makes it go a good part of the time. He makes plays, basically. If you watch him on the goal line, he's running down the line, and he'll throw a pass at the last second. I mean, he's just a playmaker. So we're just going to have to limit his running game and try to have him make plays in the pass game. We're going to have to get half of the ball, I'd say, and just get there in numbers. You know, we're going to have to punish them. That's the big thing. They're big. They spin off tackles. So you really can't. One person's really not going to bring them down. So we need to get there in numbers and secure the tackle.
We're going to be successful if we tackle well. That's the bottom line. If we go out there and tackle well, we're going to be extremely successful against this team because that's the design of the offense. Spread you out and make you miss tackles. One-on-one tackles, tackle in space. My athlete against your athlete, my athlete's going to make your athlete miss. And if we tackle well, we're going to win the ball. Well, we're going to be successful.
Welcome back, everybody. One of the key things, as we heard from the players, is Tim Tebow at Florida. How do you handle a guy like that? I mean, his numbers are unbelievable.
Well, Jim, you know, we've faced some great quarterbacks down through the years, and certainly Tebow, to win the Heisman Trophy as a sophomore tells you something about him, but you've got to get up close to him. He's 240 pounds. He's a great athlete, and he is a guy that has a lot of designed runs within the spread offense. So it's an assignment game for us defensively.
Is he the most unique quarterback you've seen in all these years running a spread because of his size?
Well, I think you remember a guy that played at Texas a couple of years ago. He was pretty good.
Not bad.
And he was a big guy.
Yeah.
Probably even bigger than Tim. But Tim, you know, is a power runner. He's a guy that's going to lower his shoulder and run over you. The most impressive thing offensively is that Florida is converted 56% on third down. And the reason they're able to do that is because he's such a great athlete, and they've managed to stay out of a lot of third down and long situations.
Boy, that third down is going to be key in this football game. Hey, everybody, when we come back, we'll talk about how Michigan's offense and how they're going to deal with the Florida defense. That's coming up next on Michigan Replay. But first, we hear from Mike Hart, who says he'd like to have a very busy day.
You got to keep them off the field. Because like I said, they're a machine. They're going to score some points. You can't stop them totally. Our defense would, do the best they can against them, but they're going to put up points. So we have to try to control the ball and keep the clock moving.
If Florida has an Achilles heel, it's a small one, but you could look to their defense. While they've held opponents to less than 100 yards rushing per game, teams have found success through the air. Teams have put up 250 yards a game passing against the Gators. In addition, they've given up 24 points a game, and 4 times this year, opponents have put up 30 or more points. From Michigan's perspective, the attack against the Gator defense must be about balance and ball control.
The best defense is an offense that can run the ball and have the time possession. And if we can go out there, run the ball, keep the ball away from Tebow, then they're not going to score points. So we got to make sure we establish a run game and put as many points as we can on the board.
Obviously, the SEC has a lot of speed, and Florida definitely has good athletes on their defense. But the thing with them is they're pretty young. I mean, they're freshmen, sophomores, a lot across the board. So, I mean, we'll have the advantage with seniority. But, I mean, they're still going to bring a lot of schemes at us and kind of play base and sit back, and I'm sure they're going to pressure. I mean, I think we're going to attack. We're not going to let any strings out there. We're going to go after it. And a lot of us, this is our last game. We're going to let it all hang out.
All that being said, maybe for the Wolverine offense, it's about keeping the Heisman Trophy winner on the bench as a spectator. Maybe the Michigan offense is their best defense.
We're definitely going to have to start run the ball well in the first quarter and get it going, kind of open it up, let them run, try to get them tired up front, and then we can start passing the ball. I mean, with the young guys out there at corner and safeties, and we definitely have some good matchups with Mario, Adrian, and Greg out there. So, yeah, we're going to attack them vertically, but also with intermediate and quick game.
They're fast. They're very quick. Get off the ball fast, make a lot of tackles in the backfield. And, you know, we just got to really establish a run. I think we haven't done that the past 2 games. I think if we get that, then our whole pass game will open up, and we really need to just run the ball.
Clearly, as you can hear from the Michigan players, offensively, you'd like to control the ball and keep that Florida offense over there on the sideline, huh?
Well, Jim, the only way that we can win this game is if offensively we score some points, if we do a good job of taking care of the football. You can't turn the ball over and give it to Florida to short end of the field. And if you do punt it, the kicking game becomes important, because what you'd like to do is keep the Florida offense down at their own end of the field so that they have a long way to go.
You want to run the ball. I mean, that's clear. Mike feels that he wants to have a busy day, but you also have to have a passing game. Do you take your shots downfield, or are you more controlled?
Well, I think we have to mix it up. I think certainly we have to be able to execute in the passing game. We had a problem late in the season protecting the quarterback, and of course that becomes the key. If we can protect our quarterback, we've got guys that can catch the football. Now we're a balanced offense, and that gives us the best chance to win.
Balance is a key in any game. Hey, everybody, when we come back, we'll get a word from the new head coach at Michigan, Rich Rodriguez, and we'll also get Coach Carr talking about this Capital One Bowl keys to the game. Stay with us. But first we hear from Urban Meyer, and he's not taking Michigan lightly.
There's some playmakers in that offense where they can take it to the distance, and the one thing about Michigan with the 2 good receivers, excellent receivers that they have, obviously a 1,000-yard rusher, again a tailback, and then the quarterback. So I think there is some truth to that, where maybe the lower level SEC doesn't have the power, maybe some speed. The lower level Big Ten, from being up in that part of the country, might not have the speed, but the upper level has plenty of speed. They're all very similar. There's no question Michigan will be a very competitive team in the SEC and upper level SEC team.
From what I saw, and from what I kind of know, it's like a lot more space. Everybody spread out a little more, give you a lot more lanes, and let you work the magic in open space a little more.
Before we get to the bowl game that Michigan plays against Florida, I want to talk about the events of the past a little bit and the naming of Rich Rodriguez. You talked very kindly of him when the selection was made, and you feel that that's a good selection to take over for you as you pass the reins along.
Well, I think Bill Martin took his time, and I think he came up with a great selection. Coach Rodriguez, he's young, he's got great experience, so he comes into Michigan with outstanding experience as a head coach. And of course, offensively, he's going to bring some excitement to this program.
He runs a little different look offensively with that spread thing.
Well, it is, Jim, and out of the spread offense, He's had tremendous success scoring and running the football. I think it's going to be a change, and certainly what I like about watching his teams, they play very hard, they're very physical, and they've been very, very successful.
Okay, one of the things that Coach Rodriguez did say, and we want to go back to when he was named the head coach at his press conference. Everybody's worried about the spread and whether it'll be a big change for Michigan. Well, Rodriguez told us at the press conference that the spread he brings to Michigan is adaptable.
Sometimes there's a misinformation about our offense that we're, obviously now we've been more of a running team than a passing team in our spread offense, but we've always geared our offensive game plan or schemes around our offensive skill players. In the past, when we've had great throwers and great receivers, we've been probably 55–60% pass. Back when I was at Little Old Glenville State and Tulane University with Sean King, and in the past several years when we've had a great running quarterback and Pat White and Rasheed Marshall, we've done more of the running stuff out of the spread. So I will be able to evaluate our players here and see what best fits, but we can go. The beauty about the spread is it's not like a wishbone or a wing tee or a West Coast where you see one, you see it all. This is a little bit different. Not every spread is like another spread, and we'll be able to fit it to our personnel.
Clearly, Coach Rodriguez feels that his spread is adaptable, and that's been one of the questions a lot of people ask. Michigan's personnel in the spread type offense. Do you see that that's a workable deal with the players that are currently on the team?
Well, Jim, that'll be up to Coach Rodriguez to figure out. I think certainly we've recruited guys as quarterbacks who are smart, tough, who can drop back and throw the football, and certainly there'll be some changes offensively, but there's no question there are enough spread teams out there that throw the ball exceptionally well, and I think he will be able to be successful in adjusting to the personnel we have. And of course, he's still got a month to go in terms of recruiting some guys that fit exactly what he would like to do.
Let's go back to you for a second. Do you mind?
Yes, I do, but...
You think that's going to stop me?
No, it isn't.
This is your last shot.
No, it isn't.
So you have no chance. How has it been for you? Because we've talked about the staff and the difficulty, but you're kind of, this is your last preparation. This is your last game prep for Michigan. How's it been for you, for Lloyd Carr?
Well, Jim, I've tried to really focus on this team, these players, these coaches, and this game. And, I'll have a lot of time to think about that in the future. But there's no question there are times that you're reminded that this is coming to a conclusion for me. And I'm just really blessed to have had the opportunity to coach here and to be a part of this program for the last 28 years. And to be with you, and to do Michigan Replay. And that's the truth.
Now,
that's the truth.
Now we're getting beyond the pale here. Now, I know
I'll
better
decide
than
what the pale is.
All right, let's talk about this game real quick. We do this every year for bowl games. Folks at home watching, what's the big thing that they're going to have to look for in the game? Things are going right, things aren't going so right?
Jim, Percy Harvin is a great football player. I mean, one of the very, very best football players in the country. And when you mix him with a guy like Tebow, you've got some issues defensively. I think it starts with not allowing the easy touchdowns, the big plays for touchdowns. I think it comes into giving our defense some field position so that you force Florida to go a long way. They're going to score some points. And, of course, offensively, we've got to do a great job of making first downs, of possessing the football, and of hitting some big plays ourselves. And, of course, at the end of the game, you'll look back and see who won the turnover battle.
For 13 years, you've been unbelievable and outstanding. And I know from the entire staff of Michigan Replay and everybody, we want to thank you.
Thank you.
You have been great. And one of the things we want to do is give you a musical tribute, Michigan Replay, only the way we can do it, to your great years of service. Thanks again. Happy New Year. Good success, good health in retirement, and you will see me again.
Keep this replay going.
We will.
Thank you.
Enjoy your holidays, everyone, and now a Michigan Replay musical tribute to a good friend and a good coach.
My hands were steady, my eyes were clear and bright. My walk had purpose, My steps were quick and light, and I held firm to what I felt was right, like a rock. Like a rock. I was strong as I could be, like a rock. Nothing ever got to me, like a rock. I was something to see, like a rock. Like a rock.
You have left a wonderful legacy for every team that ever follows you. You just won the national championship.
Carrying the weight, like a rock.
Michigan Replay is brought to you in part by